Hi, Libras. Let's see what's in your energy. Let's see what's going on. Libra energy. Talk to me, Libra energy. We have lies. And we have R&B. Libra energy. Spider. Libra energy, talk to me. Ego and pride is in the way. Ego and pride is in the way. Someone keeps lying, huh? I think you're a hoe. Someone thinks you're a hoe, Libra. Or you think someone's a hoe. Libra's energy. What's in Libra's energy? Talk to me. What's in Libra's energy? You have voodoo. And then you have create an altar. Maybe somebody needs to get in a voodoo bag or something. Libra energy, talk to me. What's in Libra's energy? Okay, I'm gonna keep what we have and I'll do some more through the video if I feel called to. Okay, something is significant about a spider. You could be seeing a lot of spiders at this time. Spider also stands for growth, mastery, and creativity. So you could be trying to master some type of skill. You could be focused on your growth right now, Libras, and you also could be just focused on channeling some type of creativity. Something is very significant about lies, okay? Something is very significant about R&B. It came out sideways, R&B. Ego and pride is in the way. You could be dealing with some ego and pride issues, or you could be connected to someone who is. I think you're a hoe. You could think somebody's a hoe, or you could think yourself as a hoe, and someone can think you're a hoe. Something significant about voodoo and create an altar. Let's begin this reading. Everything is pre-shuffled on the board. Libra energy. What's going on in Libra's energy? Talk to me about Libras. What's going on in Libra's energy? Toxic. Ascending. Denial. Okay. That's it. That's it. Maybe somebody's... You already finished all your food? What did you do? Swallow it? Can you chill out for a minute while the floor dries? Is you not finna walk on that wet floor? That made you have to stay there. Grab your water out of the fridge. Somebody could be displaying some toxic behaviors, some nasty behaviors, emotions, some narcissistic traits, manipulation going on here. Might be some DV energy. I said go ahead. Close your door, please, when you go in there. So an ascension is called for. Somebody is remaining in their south node, and they need to move on to their north node energy. Someone's not facing reality. Someone's not maybe realizing that they really need to ascend. Maybe somebody feels like they already have ascended and they feel like they can't motherfucking ascend anymore. But then you have Spider here, so maybe you need to motherfucking learn how to be a motherfucking master ascender. I cursed a lot. Bear with me. Sorry. Oh, well. Let's dig deeper. Libra energy. Talk to me about toxic. Somebody's a fraud. Somebody has been trying to keep up with some type of image. Somebody has been trying to present themselves as a different way other than what they are. And I feel like that right there, somebody can't keep up with that shit. So they're beginning to be a little delusional. Somebody can't even backtrack for real. Like what they have said, how they presented themselves, maybe some promises. Maybe someone wants to act like they're not toxic because they were toxic in their last situation. So maybe somebody tries to act like they're something other than toxic, but they never handled the toxicity. So they need to handle that shit, combat it. Talk to me about ascending Libra energy. Somebody could be preparing for a new union or a new phase here. Something happened with the marriage. Maybe a marriage failed. Somebody needs to also combat their shadow self. Somebody remains in their shadow self a little bit more, but I feel like somebody here doesn't really realize it. That's how like toxic they are. I mean, because you can be toxic and not know that you're toxic. Everybody has some type of toxic trait, something that's toxic, but somebody remains more in their south node, in their shadow self. It needs to learn more about themselves. It needs to learn more about where their shadow self stems from. Our shadow self always comes from our inner child. So whatever wounds that we go through with our inner child, that pretty much, that creates who we are. That determines who we are for the rest of our lives. So for instance, if you're somebody who doesn't like to communicate, or you don't know how to communicate that well, it may not be because you're just really a sucky communicator, or that you don't know how to communicate. It just might mean that you've always used to communicate when you were younger, but people probably shut you up all the time. Maybe people never believed you. Maybe people never like saw you for who you really were. So you pretty much shut off a part of yourself that you don't really like to communicate that much. Or if you do communicate, you communicate on a different type of time. So maybe that's a part of your shadow self, because now in relationships you can't communicate with people well, right? You have a hard time communicating. But it's not that you're just really a second communicator. It's because you need to heal your inner child. Your inner child throws tantrums and fits and shit and gets emotional because they can't communicate clearly through you. And so basically you're sitting here, you know, you're in the midst of it. Your inner child always communicates through your present self. Basically, your inner child just feels like nobody gives a fuck about what they have to say. Nobody wants to talk to them. Nobody's giving them type of attention. Things like that. And that becomes a part of your shadow self, because that is a little toxicity in yourself. That's something that's toxic about yourself. And you need to get a handle on it. Right? So, bam. Talk to me about denial, Libra energy. If you have just went through a resting period, Libras, what the fuck did you learn out of this resting period? Y'all know Libras, I'm pretty hard with Libras. That's because that's my sister sign. I'm an Aries and Libra is my sister sign, so boom. And I'd be hard on it, and I'll play that. Hold on, y'all. So maybe what was reflected during this resting period, there should have been some reflection, and there should have been some healing going on. Maybe something's wrong with this. There. So it's like, what have you applied? What have you learned? Has there been a shift in your perspective? Libra, this could be you or somebody in your energy. Okay, so if it doesn't apply for you and it applies for someone in your energy, boom. And if it's not for you, it's not for every freaking Libra. I feel like somebody here has been defeated. Libra, I don't know if this is your ego, but are you you might be in the process of defeating your ego. That is a part of our shadow selves, right? Where we start to analyze the ego and the position of our ego. Ego isn't a bad thing. Remember, on the board, it did say ego and pride is in the way. There's something that needs to be defeated within yourself or somebody that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with someone who has been showing toxic ways and toxic behavior, I feel like they're in the process of trying to defeat that because they want to reach their ascension. And so in order for them to do so, they do need to tackle their shadow self, especially if it has something to do with their masculine side, especially if they're feminine. Okay, if they are a woman, something about like they need to also they have to conquer their shadow self in connection to their masculine energy. Talk to me about King of Wands in reverse. I don't know why I just also got to Libra, whether this is you or somebody in your energy or someone you're connected to. Somebody was so quick to come in. Somebody was so quick to be like a part of some shit. Someone was so quickly to maybe to get a hold of something. Somebody was so in a hurry. It's like they were in a hurry to, somebody was in a hurry to say like they believed in the same things that you believed in. They have the same morals, beliefs, high grounds, whatever, you know, common ground, whatever. They have like the same principles and things. But in reality, they've never experienced something like this. They've never experienced like such a spiritual connection or somebody was so passionate. somebody was so quick to like just go for something. They were so passionate, courageous. Libras, I feel like this was your energy. I don't know. So quick to do something. You were so quick to be independent or free, or like make a name, not make a name for yourself, be recognized for something, or you were so quick to be free or finally take control. That maybe you ended up taking something away, maybe more so than adding on to something. Created some type of illusions, uncertainty. You moved quickly when you approached this. You moved too quickly when you wanted to sit there and gain some type of freedom, or you finally broke free out of a cycle. You got out of a karmic cycle. You broke free from it, and you moved too quickly, though, to the point where you ended up stealing something. You ended up taking something that wasn't meant for you to take, or it wasn't ready for you to take. It wasn't timing. It wasn't the time for something. And even this, like, it just always gives off, the Knight of Wands always give off, like, make it till you break it. A little bit. Make it till you break it. Oh, you know, I don't got it like that. I ain't all about it, but I can be that sometimes, or some shit. It's something like that. That type of energy I'm getting. Talk to me about Four of Swords in reverse. Sideways. This person doesn't want to take a break. This person isn't interested in reflecting, taking a break. When they okay, so remember I even said, I was like, Libra, did you just take a break, a rest period? You haven't applied or anything. You did nothing during that time of a resting period where you could have used that time to really heal and conquer some shit and really boss yourself up. It's time to boss the fuck up. That's what I'm getting from this, Libra. It's time to boss up. You could have taken advantage of that, but instead you did something else. You created more like boundaries, or like maybe you fell short with creating some type of boundary. Maybe that was a test you needed to pass. You needed to do something, and maybe you didn't successfully learn or pass. Maybe you have been gearing up for war instead, for something else, instead of worrying about the work that you need to do, because that was the ultimate weapon right there. That was the ultimate weapon. That was your ultimate tool. When you took that resting period, Libra, you were supposed to use that knowledge and wisdom that you acquired during that resting period, fuse that to fuel you, and use it as a weapon. That was the point of that. That was your weapon right there. 8 minutes. See? Talk to me about we have the Emperor. Emperor energy is here. You're very connected to the source. You're very in tune. But you have some attachments that you need to square away. I don't know why I'm getting, you could be very lustful. You could be very lustful. Oh shit. I feel like, Libra, I feel like you're definitely Emperor energy, but I feel like you're being held back right now. So remember I had said it's time for you to boss up. You act like you don't got shit. But you're in Emperor energy. Why do you feel like you don't got shit? You should feel like you have everything. Something is about, you're materialistic. You're very materialistic. You still have not conquered materialistic. I remember reading months ago. Well, no, it was about a year ago. You struggled with feeling like you weren't on top of your throne. You felt like you didn't have enough money. You felt like you wasn't doing your big one. You felt like you wasn't out, like you wasn't a boss out here. You felt like you wasn't on your shit. That was a whole year ago. So it's the end of the year now, new beginning, right? New year. And clearly you still have this issue. I feel like you forgot what you were supposed to be doing. You got distracted. You forgot what you were supposed to be focused on. You took a break, in that break, and I'm telling you, ain't shit really come out of that break, but you need to defeat materialism. You need to understand that money isn't shit. You need to understand that money is the matrix. That's it. It has nothing to do with spirituality, or like the spiritual sense of the world, the real world. The creator does not give a shit about money. The creator cares about love, humanity, and unity, and that's it. And if you don't got them three, I don't know what you're gonna do. But it's not about money. Money creates problems. So do you feel like you're not on your shit because you don't have enough money? Is that steering you away from your connection with the creator? Was something selfishly asked from the creator? Did you ask if you could, was a request to level up with some funds, some money? You want some money, some moolah. But the creator asked you to do something and you didn't do it. So you're still sitting here with your hand out, whether it's you or this person you're connected to. That's not right. You can't, that's not right. Talk to me about Devil in reverse and the Seven of Swords. You're imbalanced. That's why an ascension is needed. It's called for, because you're too imbalanced. I feel like somehow you had a clear idea and picture and vision of something. You got distracted. You remain imbalanced. You became that's your shadow self. That's a part of your shadow self. That's a part of the toxic part about you. That you focus on work, you focus on money, and you hold on to shit as if you're not going to get nothing ever again. But then you also don't see yourself as having enough. Overindulgent, reckless, being impatient. You were very much also impatient when it came to approaching some type of situation or circumstance. There's something right here that whoever you're dealing with, Libra, this relationship, this union, and I could see that because you have the Devil, the Emperor, but there's something here that I just lost it. There's too many imbalances for you to see clearly. You were imbalanced going into something, which creates an imbalanced foundation, structure. You were very much imbalanced. This is your energy. Inheritance is here. Legacy, empire, foundation is here. Breaking generational curses is here. direction. You need direction. You need direction. It's here for you, Libra. It's here for you. Good fortune, okay? A fortune is here for you. You just don't know which direction to go in. You don't know how the first step into acquiring or stepping into this fortune. You're inexperienced, irresponsible, and you're in denial about how irresponsible and inexperienced you are. There has been some acceptance from a heartbreak. Maybe this is where things changed, and this is where this toxicity is coming from, and this is why you came into something else with a very faulty foundation and imbalanced, because you had to heal from a broken heart. But a broken heart didn't stop you from seeing something that you were supposed to see. But you did develop some type of like emotional restriction. I feel like maybe you've been going through some type of depression, but you're in denial that you're depressed or something because of what has happened in the past. So some type of fear has came from something in the past that you have not healed from, and this is why everything is imbalanced, because you've been lying to yourself. The reality that you live in right now is not clear. And I'm gonna keep it real, I'm gonna keep it raw. I don't sit here and sugarcoat for none of y'all. I'm not going to today. I'm not gonna start. And I'm not one of those readers who's always peachy and shit and like, you know, oh my gosh, your life is so amazing. I tell you what the cards say. The cards are definitely saying what the fuck they say, and I'm gonna just keep it real. But you need to heal, and you're so in denial about it. You need to heal right here, even at the top of the deck, before I even release baggage. There is some baggage that is hanging on to you, Libras. Libra energy, talk to me. Look, healing came out. Healing, you need to heal. Mirroring, you could be mirroring. So somebody who you're connected to could be mirroring some hidden emotions or things about yourself that you're in denial about or that you're not seeing clearly. Libra energy, talk to me. What is in Libra's energy? Watch out. You need to watch out for something. Something significant about your childhood home, Libra. Something significant about your childhood home. Your inner child, there might be some healing that's needed there, and that might also be connected to your childhood home. Maybe you need to release some baggage when it comes to that. Something happened in your childhood home that you developed a shadow. I mean, not a shadow, fuck. A wound from or something. Something happened or something, whatever. Something significant about that. Maybe you need to be careful while you're in your childhood home if you're back in your childhood home at this time. Libra energy, talk to me. We have drowning. We have drowning. Maybe as a child you drowned or something. That could be significant. Maybe right now you feel like you're drowning in your emotions. Something significant about your third eye chakra. You need to open your third eye. You need to also probably protect your third eye as well. Libra energy, talk to me. You could also be a medium. Medium energy is here. You could also, maybe you need to see a medium. Maybe you need some healing, and that requires you talking to somebody who passed over. Fun fact, you guys, but I am a medium as well. I also do inner child healing as well. I'm able to go within and help you heal your inner child. You can have the initials I. You can have the initials D. Something significant about the truth is in reverse. And something significant about Florida. Where's my other thing? I don't know if my vagina is on camera. How I gotta exit that out. Okay, let's see. That's the right one. That's not the right one. That's the one. I don't know what this sign is, but that don't exist, so I'm confused. You could be talking to an Aquarius, Libra, or you could have Aquarius placements. You could be talking to a Scorpio, or you could have Scorpio placements. You could be dealing with a Leo. We have Aquarius again. Leo again. Aries energy. You could be dealing with Aries, talking to an Aries. You could have Aries placements in your chart. Aries again. Well, this was your reading, Libra. Thanks. Peace.